What's up everyone? I am going to explain how I splice braided line to fluorocarbon for spinning rod or bait casting applications. The reason we do that is because we're using the advantages of both lines, right? So this is a Seaguar Smackdown 15-pound high-vis braided line. And the reason we use braid on the spinning reel is that when I open this bail, you can see how it doesn't just coil off here. It's because braid has virtually no memory. You have a stronger weight to diameter ratio. So I can use a 15-pound test and have the same diameter as say like a 6-pound mono or fluorocarbon. So it's easier to manage, it casts further, and it's going to give us more sensitivity, virtually no stretch, so we're feeling all those bites no matter how deep we're fishing. So that's the advantages of braid. With one of the disadvantages is that this high-vis green, well, the fish are going to be able to see it. So on a lake like this where we're at today, we've got really clear water. We can see 15, 16 foot down. So you're going to want to choose a really high-quality fluorocarbon leader. Oftentimes I'll throw Seaguar Tatsu. Now that Seaguar has gold label leader, oftentimes I will go with this. And one thing you want to pay attention to is you see that I've got 8-pound Tatsu and I've got 10-pound gold label. What you want to really pay attention to is the line size diameter. So when you look right underneath this 8-pound here, it says diameter and then it says 0.009. Well, if you look at gold label, it is 10 and it's 0.009 also. So pay attention to that diameter. You know, where this gold label, you're getting a 10-pound test with the same line diameter. And when you're finesse fishing, you want a very kind of minimal line diameter. Now, if I was going to throw this in a brush pile, standing timber, something like that, I may go up to a 12-pound test so that I've got a little bit more abrasion resistance and I'm gonna be able to manage that. But I'm gonna still throw the same braided line. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do this real quick. I'm going to take my fluorocarbon and I make a loop. And now this is called a Crazy Alberto knot. And what I do is I just wrap it in my fingers so that it can hold tight, so that it's not gonna slip. And then same thing with your braid. You want just enough line coming off that you can hold this tight. And I set my rod behind me so that I can hold that braid tight. We're gonna drop it through one time and I leave my finger in there so that I know which direction I dropped that braid. And then it's gonna take a little practice with the dexterity of your fingers, but I use my middle finger and my thumb on my right hand and then my index finger and my thumb here, and we're gonna go, that's 2 wraps, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, if I was using a heavier braid, heavier fluoro, say for top waters or for flipping, I may only do 4 or 5 wraps. So the smaller diameter line, the more wraps you need, the bigger the line, the less wraps. And so we went down 7 and we're just gonna keep going the same direction and wrap it right over itself. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we wrapped right back up the same amount of distance. Now we're gonna go through the opposite direction. Pull that through. Now you can pull your finger out and we've got the braid and the fluoro. Now this is where it's really important. I like to lube that up a little bit. And this sounds crazy, but you wanna pull the fluorocarbon side and just hold the braided side. If you try to pull them at the same time, it'll cinch the braid down until it gets all the way snug. Now you can let go. Always check your knot. You want to pull it tight, and then we can take our tag ends. I will clip it down nice and tight. Take the fluorocarbon side with our tag end. Always double check, make sure you got the tag end. Clip it as tight as you can go. That way it's not going to get caught in the braid. Trust your knot. We'll check it. Now you have a small diameter, virtually almost the same diameter as our braid and fluorocarbon, spliced together. It's gonna run through our guides easy. It's gonna come off the spool nice and smooth. It's not gonna catch on anything, and it's gonna be strong. So then I'm just gonna reel up 10 to 12 foot of the fluorocarbon leader and then tie my bait on. That is the Crazy Alberto knot to splice braid to fluorocarbon line.